think he's in Bristol or somewhere, Shane. He's at Bristol or somewhere.
Working?
I guess, I don't know.
How come he owes us money?
I don't know.
He's looking, Shane, you know.
I understand.
So he's looking, you know, work.
Yeah. I'm good.
Is he calling?
I thought you called it the other day.
I went by there. All town Jacksboro, like the next door at 2 p.m.
Roy Green,
Good.
Mr. Lay, Mr. Cross, Mr. Snodgrass.
Here.
Mayor.
Here. Do we have a motion to approve the previous minutes?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Green,
Yes.
Mr. Snodgrass.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. Any old business? I guess Daniels would be on the old business on the two police officers probation is out and their pay will increase. I believe it goes up to 20, right?
Yeah.
Do we have a motion to do that? It'll be on the old business.
I'll make a motion.
Which two?
It'll be Wesley and Tyler.
They're both doing a good job too, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Snodgrass,
Yeah.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
Mr. Snodgrass,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. The next thing on the new business, we'll get Frank out of here.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. I had this handout we can look at right quick. Yeah, there's some.
Thank you.
Okay, if you'll open it to where the logo for LDA Engineering is your upper right-hand corner. In 1966, the original contractor that won the bid to run a 12-inch sewer line main from East Jacksboro Industrial Park all the way to Elkins Road sewer pump station. However, the company along the way did not finish the project and went bankrupt. So the bond company had to finish the project. And they hired local construction companies to finish the project. However, in their speed to get it done, they did not follow the plans and specifications of the original contract. Coming down Spring Street, which is this area right here, the first one you will see, the first manhole in the road there, if you look at it, first manhole in the road. Coming down Spring Street, they laid the line in the creek, which was of the least resistance to lay the line and the quickest way and the most inexpensive way to do it. Today, state and federal regulations will not allow that. So this drawing is a preliminary drawing for you, the board, to decide if we want to put an offset manhole from here to the manhole set here and run it to the existing manhole, which is 385 feet to the right manhole, and put this project where it's supposed to be. The state will not allow us to increase the size of the entry into Spring Street without moving the line. And we have to have their permission because the fine is significant per day to work in the spring without a permit. And we can't lay 1 foot of sewer line without a valid permit from the state. So what we're asking is to do an offset cut into the existing manhole, run it over to set the manhole in the street and run it down. Right now the street is closed, and to do the construction and put it in so we can go back to the original area and rehab that bank like we're supposed to widen the road. So, but it needs board approval, and with board approval, LD Engineering can put the package together, send it to state for approval, and we'll get their answer back to you just as quick as we can.
Do we have a motion?
I make a motion.
Second. Yeah.
Thanks, Mayor.
Yeah.
Mr. Green,
Yeah.
Mr. Snodgrass.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. The next thing on here is to accept TJ Bollinger's animal control officer's resignation. Do it on.
I'll make a
Second.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Snodgrass?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes. Next thing is Kelly Jo Wright. She's wanting to have a veterans parade. Daniel?
Thank you. Of course, as you all know, July 4th is the 250th celebration. There is going to be a big gathering and a large event at Cove Lake Park this year. And it's going to be heavily saturated with a lot of veterans, celebrations, and things going on all around it. Rather than doing the parade like I normally do and we'll follow it every year, logistically that wasn't going to work. You all are located in a perfect place to do this. This event on July 4th kicks off at Cove Lake Park at 12:30. I reached out to him and he was kind of helping me with this. Since that starts at 12:30, we thought, well, we could actually kick off a parade here in the Jacksboro area. And I spoke with the pastor of the church, Pastor Arbo, and he said he's 100% on board. He's still going to speak to some members there at the church and make sure that there's no last minute T's to cross or I's to dot, but he feels very confident that it'll be okay. And it would probably begin right at noon and then just run it basically like a funeral procession, really just right out and just down and end it at the park, and it should end just a few minutes before the event is scheduled to begin if everything goes as planned. And like I said, the veterans were, kind of excited about having an opportunity to do this, and it also gives ample areas and locations for people to watch it at a view. If it gets too big on registration, I understand there's a backup plan, maybe to line something up, but that's kind of what we were thinking. We're going to ask for y'all's permission about it and see what you all thought, any pros or cons, and just throw anything at me that I can possibly answer. If I can answer it, I'll hand it off to you.
I don't see no problem with it.
Only good thing.
I think so.
The back of the place is kind of like lined up. If there's not enough room at the church or they start blocking the roadway, we could move it up to the end of Main Street, in front of the back of Mercantile, and pull out from there, and come down this way. The only thing is I'll have to get a couple extra officers that day to help block some streets in through there, and just take it straight through.
I'll make a motion for this.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Snodgrass?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Is that the correct time for it?
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Cryptocurrency.
I talked to Jack, at the planning commission, they're recommending we do a draft on like a zoning for the Bitcoin type. Lake City and Carroll's done more, they're having some issues. We have a motion to go ahead and put that in place.
Well, at their next meeting, they're gonna do it, I just put the draft that they had here just to give you that whole one.
Yes, yes,
I'll
okay.
make a motion.
So,
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Snodgrass?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes. Next thing, the fire chief, he called and said he can't be here, but he's wanting us to consider Title VII open burning policy. I really don't know what it all consists of.
He's recommending.
What we need to do is just table this and let him,
Yes.
at the next meeting, because I really don't know all that is.
We get together, Lord.
Yeah.
I have a motion to table.
make a motion.
Second.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Snodgrass?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes. And you got it there for the first of July.
That's the year beginning, July first.
So,
Food,
so
food.
it's, what I'm saying is they're gonna be on the meeting, that's what it's over.
The first.
We close this one, right?
Do it now.
Okay, the next thing, we're gonna go ahead and have the first reading on the budget. You can go over it there and see anything needs changed or anything. We'll have another one in the June meeting.
I won't have time to make the changes in it, that you make any before this one, to get it in the press, so it'll be next week and the day 12.
But this will be considered the first reading.
Bingo.
And you can take that home and kind of look over it and you see anything, that needs to be added or took away, or you think needs to be, just kind of look at it. Then the next meeting, that'll be the second reading, and that'll be sometime on June,
Now we do a special call, I'll be pushing it across.
in June.
Yes, it'll be in June.
So we have a motion to approve the first reading on the budget.
I'll second.
Mr. Green? Mr. Snodgrass?
Yeah.
Mayor?
Yes. I was gonna let you all know that I did check on that. And they hired a different contractor. I talked to Mr. Harris and Josh of the state. And they supposed to be some out there. I don't know, the other contractor quit, and he left. But I'm waiting.
The
for
only
him.
reason I told you Friday, I guess it was Friday, it was 10 after 9 at night in the dark, and they were in dark and flashlights, so we didn't know if it was workers or, you know.
Well, you weren't the only one calling, the other person said they had ski masks on.
Well, we heard they had all kinds of things, but all we could tell was dark clothing and flashlights.
Well, I did talk to Josh, and I asked him why he didn't send us you a copy of that, and he said that they
You don't
don't.
have to.
They
Yes,
told
sir.
me that real quick. But I told him I wanted something from him signed off, and that in compliance with that creek. And he said he would send some.
And it's my understanding that as of yet, it has not been,
No.
that it has not been completed. They're
No.
still in violation, but they are doing remediation. It's my question on that, the only question I have on that is while they're doing this remediation, do they have to follow the guidelines, sorry, my voice, do they have to follow the guidelines of their building permit?
Yeah, they can't be.
So I mean, are they allowed to work over there at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night?
No,
Okay,
no.
well, they did
Well,
last night, they were there for 8 o'clock.
Well, if they're there, what was the order, 7, 6 or 7, 7? So they're over there tonight at 7, and we got to stop. You can tell they'll carry over. But now, the other night I talked to Joe, went over there and talked to that guy, and he said he was down there looking or something.
Some, I don't know which officer, he did show up and was there for a few moments and then left, and of course they continued. But I felt better knowing that somebody else said it was okay,
I
rather
thought
than just
somebody
people in
drove-
dark clothing with flashlights.
I thought somebody had drove down in there, I didn't know.
And it's possible, they've been using it as turnarounds.
But, no, if they can't do no work until that's, and I asked him too, why didn't he notify the city when he was doing that inspection? Because basically, they didn't have to tell us they were doing inspection.
And that's the sad thing is that you can't get the city and the state to know the same thing at the same time.
When I asked him, I said, well, the day I met you all up there in the pouring rain, and I told them to stop putting that in there, you didn't have a problem with it. You know what I'm saying?
I do, I've been there the whole time with this.
Yeah. So,
I'm just glad the overseer is making sure it's right, that's all I want. I'm not asking them to stop or anything like that, just follow the rules that any other person here would have to follow.
And Frank, I meant to mention him before he left on that sewer part of it.
They're still working on that.
Yeah. There's an engineer or something.
That it has to be inspected every step.
Right. But,
But thank you for Friday.
that's about only update I've got on that. Next thing, do we have a motion to approve the expenditure and financial report?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
Mr. Snodgrass,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. We have a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I forget we got a professional name. Animal control.
Do I hear a second?
You got me too, yeah.
Meeting adjourned.